Okay, so we're here in TULLYHOMMON village, just outside Kesh in County Fermanagh, and we're here on the eve of the anniversary of the Enniskillen bomb. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that there was two bombs in 1987 when the IRA, they tried to blow up what was a Remembrance Day parade. Now, this little village, I mean, it consists of one street, and it is on the border of Donegal, Pettigo, just looking down that street and across the river. This is where the Northern Ireland meets the Irish Republic in terms of the Donegal border and into Donegal. Now, on that Remembrance Day in 1987, what actually happened was there was a bomb that was placed here that was bigger, more large than the Enniskillen bomb itself. And we all know what happened in Enniskillen whenever the Enniskillen massacre did occur. But the reality is that in here in TULLYHOMMON village, if that bomb had went off, well, who would it have blown up? Let's just explain. And there was a handful of military veterans that was here to remember their dead, the war dead, and also there was some boys' brigade and some girls' brigade that was here, as far as I know, and also there was a pipe band. Now, the reality is that within the boys' brigade and the girls' brigade, there was a huge amount of children that was here on that day in Remembrance Day to remember the dead. And the reality is that if that bomb had went off, well, the world wouldn't have been talking about Enniskillen on that day. The world actually would have been talking about TULLYHOMMON.
Down at TULLYHOMMON there was an attempt to murder school children. Children who were attending a Remembrance Boys Brigade. Just children, scouts, whatever, other kids, just from schools, primary school kids, and Republicans attempted to murder them as well. You can never forget that. Horrendous. The thought of even doing it is horrendous.
Incredibly, the bloodshed in the border country could have been even worse. As the dust settled, it became known that Enniskillen was not the only parade in the IRA's sights. A cross-border unit had also targeted a Poppy Day ceremony just 20 miles away in a tiny border village called TULLYHOMMON.
The target at TULLYHOMMON would have been the Boys Brigade, the Girls Brigade and the band, and a small number, maybe 3 or 4 members of the security forces who in uniform there to lay a wreath.
But the Boys Brigade and the Girls Brigade consists of little children from the age of 6 upwards.
Yes, but in the eyes of the Provisional IRA, they were legitimate targets.
What children of that age?
The purpose of the attack was to attack the Remembrance Day, the establishment, and the community in Fermanagh.
The bomb was 4 times the size of the Enniskillen device, but it didn't go off. A tractor is said to have driven over the command wire, thus preventing carnage that may have eclipsed Enniskillen.
Now, again in TULLYHOMMON, what you'll notice is that the main street is actually just behind us, just literally behind where the camera is here, just a few yards from me. But if you look down this street and you look to where the far grey building is with the white cornerstones on it, yeah, that actually is Donegal, and that is within close proximity to TULLYHOMMON. That is where the Irish Republic actually is in relation to TULLYHOMMON in Northern Ireland. So it was quite easy for those people on that day to run a command wire to try to actually to blow to smithereens the people that were here remembering the war dead on that day. If you would just like to zoom down and show exactly how close that this is.
Standing at the wall, children holding hands, people getting ready, you're waiting for an old man with a young, a comrade's gone away, everybody gets together on Remembrance Day. When the wild wind came without a warning, just a sudden flash of light. Many there were taken, husbands, children, and a young girl felt her father's touch and her dying and her words do more to make us one than 100 years of the bomb and the gun. Let the so-called patriots see what they have done. I let them wake up in the morning to another day of pain. I let them feel the endless heartache that never goes away. I let them hear the voice of millions that said it on that day. I am ashamed to be Irish on Remembrance Day. Standing up, children hand in hand. Another year is over. Perhaps we understand. Words of love are stronger than words of hate. Let us not forget on Remembrance Day. And whatever you believe in, whatever flag you wave, let us not forget on
The building was not searched. I don't know who made that decision, whether that decision was made by REC headquarters or who made that decision. But the building should have been searched. It's in close proximity to the cenotaph, and obviously the bomb was placed in behind the wall, and the whole wall, once the bomb went off, it flew out across the street and out across the people, murdering people. The VIPs appear just shortly, a few minutes before 11 o'clock. And you have all sort of a mixture of ex-service members, pub members of the public, children, all sorts of people from our society. They're all here gathered round. Every one of the footpaths around here, right round the cenotaph, is full of people. And you can just imagine the scene there at the wall, crowds of people just lined across the footpath, and the bomb goes off and the whole lot comes out across. Brutal.
I mean, did the IRA on that day, did it come across the border, or did they live locally?
Well, they didn't do this without help from local people. We all know who he was, and we know that McGuinness and his team, his comrades were behind him. I was here at that memorial when the actual Senate, or the new memorial was presented, and it had all the names inscribed on it. Came here in the forklift, and it was taken away in a forklift. No sooner the service was over, it was taken away. It's really sad. The memorial has to go up. You know, it's been too long without a memorial in place, and it needs put where the bomb went off, or as near as possible to where the bomb went off.
And to this day, I don't think anyone's ever been brought to justice over it. Is that right?
Well, as far as I'm aware, no one has ever been interviewed. And I'm getting that information back through my own sources, ex-RUC officers. I don't believe anyone was ever arrested, but No one has ever been brought to justice. I fear that no one will ever be brought to justice, but time will tell. But with the phony peace process that we have in place at the moment, it's a case of, who has been putting pressure on who to stop investigations being completed. That's the way it is in Northern Ireland.
Isn't it fair that if there was wrong done in the past, that people must be brought to justice?
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And, but let's talk about justice for people, families and all that. What about the people that was killed at Enniskillen? Families, men, women, kids. Was there an inquiry into that?